500 likes for these top 5 scary ghost videos. A long time ago, about a year or so, if I'm not mistaken, I was that much younger, and I also featured a video on my channel that was nominated for the scariest video of the year and almost won the award. Really? Was it that terrifying? In my opinion, yes, it was, especially since the credibility is really high on that one. But why are you mentioning this information? Nostalgia is playing its part. The next clip is the follow-up to that video. It's not as intense as that one, but it can get the job done, and it's fairly frightening. The story of this so-called house, because I can barely see a house in it, is that there is a very small family of 1 brother, 1 sister, and 2 mothers. I mean, 1 mother and an extra soda. This was the family. The son was a maniac. He had hardly any chill when it came to bad behavior, to the point where he took his mom's life after she went through depression. He was also a man who would do demonic rituals. After the passing of his mother, he also expired during a ritual he was performing in the bathroom with his friend. His friend must have had his heart broken in that moment. And who said that? His friend was so high and took his friend's life. Where did he take it? Where do you think? Now the sister is the only one left in this truly haunted house, which is believed to be haunted by the brother. In this continuity of the series, the group is trying to expel the spirit by performing some rituals and prayers, but the sister is getting attacked by the spirit, and you could see some phantom-like ghosts floating around in the video, along with the orbs.
A situação realmente aqui tá precária, o negócio aqui tá tenso. Não. A energia aqui é pesada, eu tô toda arrepiada, ó. Vocês podem ver, ó. A gente não tem medo de você, Marcos, a gente está tentando aqui ajudar, entendeu? Não adianta forçar a situação, né? Você tem que ter paciência, entendeu? Em relação com a sua irmã, em relação a gente está tentando aqui, de certa forma, entendeu? Ajudar você, então você tem que ter paciência com isso. Você não vai conseguir nos assustar, entendeu? Tá ainda balançando, ó, balançando.
Tem força, pesado, viu? Tem força, né?
Você aceita um pouquinho de água? Se você tomar um pouco d'água, você pode até melhorar. Pega a água que está ali na mochila. Não, deixa que eu pego. Eu pego, pode deixar. Pega aqui. Tem que mentalizar energias boas, pensar em Deus. Não ficar... Calma, ó, calma, eu vou abrir a porta, eu vou abrir a porta, tá bom? Respira, eu vou abrir a porta, a gente vai sair, a gente vai se acalmar, tá bom? Tá travado aqui, calma, deixa eu abrir aqui, tá travado aqui, calma, vem.
A janela do quarto. O efeito dos espíritos moverem objetos físicos é chamado de psicocinesia, que é a capacidade que alguns espíritos têm de...
Deus sempre está ali do nosso lado e cabe a nós
ouvi-lo.
Deus é incrível. Olha, ai meu Deus. Ó, tenta no máximo focar em bons pensamentos, que eu não posso sair daqui agora. Tá bom? Tenta pensar em coisas boas. Pensa também em coisas boas, bons pensamentos. Os bons mentores, os bons seres de luz vão nos ajudar. Mas eu preciso que cada um de vocês foque em boas energias e bons pensamentos. Mentalize a mãe de vocês felizes. Mentalize em Deus. Foque no que eu estou falando. Eu não posso sair daqui agora. Foco no que eu estou dizendo. Olha para mim, olha para mim. Foque em coisas boas, tá bom? Pense em Deus, Marcos. Fica aqui, pense em Deus. Olha, fica calma, tá bom? Fica calma. Fecha os olhos. Calma. Aqui, ó.
Os orbes são manifestações espirituais que se apresentam em forma de esferas luminosas ou pontos de luz. Eles são evidências da presença de espíritos desencarnados em determinado local. Ao desespero do espírito maligno que tenta se ligar à irmã de Marco, influenciando negativamente seus pensamentos e comportamentos. O espírito tentou puxá-la ou segurá-la debaixo da mesa, usando ações físicas para gerar medo e ansiedade. Ele utilizou toda a sua força, materializando-se fisicamente através da ectoplasmia, que é uma substância semimaterial que se origina do corpo do médium.
Poor girl, she must be in such a bad mental state at that point. Is that true? How did I figure this out all by myself? Of course she is not okay, but the question here is, why in the world would you stay in this place? It's really not worth it. Regarding this title, I will explain it very clearly. The next clip is part of a news report that talks about the haunting of the Mar Fairgrounds, a haunting of a hotel that was once one of the most important places for Hollywood megastars, especially the 5th floor. But you said you were going to tell us what the meaning behind this title was. Is it someone who was possessed in the hotel, and after surviving, he was left in so much fear that he no longer could talk normally? He always shook and stuttered in his sentences. I don't know if that actually happened to someone there, but all I know is that the first dude who will be talking about the horror behind this building has a problem when doing his explanation. Or maybe he is too invested in this topic. He always gets excited and talks like that. But what is the haunting? What kind of paranormal activity occurs in this place? Shadow figures and orbs are flying around. Also, it's worth mentioning that since the 5th floor is the most haunted, you cannot use the elevator to get up there. Why? Ghost racism, I guess.
After months of secrecy, the Mar Fairgrounds management is now talking about several paranormal investigations, trying to find out what employees there have known for years.
Where you can physically put your hands and actually find the perimeter of the cold spot.
Mario Sandoval began working at the Del Mar track in 1995, and 2 years later he saw something in the hallways right out of Hollywood.
It moved and it went into Suite M, came out. He saw it go away, get smaller. Suite N came out, Suite O came out, went into Suite P, which is that room, that door that we're seeing right now.
That thing was a glowing, floating ball, which seemed to go through walls.
They told me there was a prophet in these places. You're dealing with long-shot Hollywood.
The old grandstand was built back in 1936. Back then, what is now the 5th floor was more of a VIP Hollywood hotspot.
There was a club up here, a private bar, if you will, and room just like this.
It was a place where the Hollywood elite could let their hair down and have a great time. And it's that great time that has many here at the track convinced that those movie legends who helped get this track on its feet originally, but have since passed on, are still hanging out within its walls.
I said, you know, if you're still with us, let us know. And all of a sudden, we heard, ha, 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 like a low guttural laugh.
As soon as we heard that, everybody stood up, and I just jumped up, turned around. Did you guys get that? Did you guys hear that?
Most recently, a paranormal investigation by South Coast Paranormal discovered something ghostly in the 1st floor pub at the grandstand.
I heard my name a couple of times. Somebody said, hey, you know, what do you like to drink? And we heard martini, really loud and clear.
You can see a dark figure make its way across the video. Sped up, you can clearly see the movement with a small flash of light at the end.
So where this light ends up, because the dark figure goes across and then you see this light pop up for a split second, is there access of vehicles? Could there be headlights pointing in from that direction?
No, that is a hallway.
It's thought it could be that of world-renowned horse trainer Charlie Whittingham, showcased on the pub's walls, and someone who loved martinis and was as large as the shadow appears. There's also another story about an employee who got on an elevator to head to floor number 5. But when the doors opened, she was on floor 4. So she got back in. But after more and more attempts, it took her to the 6th floor, then back to the 4th floor. It wouldn't stop on the 5th floor. So finally, the employee gets off on the 4th floor, makes her way up the stairs here to the 5th floor. And what greets her? The elevator doors, opening and closing as if giving her applause for finally making it here.
These things keep going on. These are not just stories. These are not just legends.
You can take a close-up look for yourself at the video captured inside that ground-level pub, along with audio recordings of voices heard inside the grandstand itself by going to our website, cbs8.com.
There has to be continuity to this short document, but I'm too lazy to go and explore the internet to find out. You don't know how many videos I dumbed down to get to this next one. Why? Is it so great that I couldn't let any other video take its place? Or was it so scary that I couldn't believe it had the temerity to be featured on my list? Well, as you can read from this title, it's saying The Office, but it's not another copy of that show, or another copy of it. They are not related. Two men who are either security guards or soldiers, regardless of their sexuality. I mean their working positions. They are both in the office at night. What were they doing there? I don't know, playing some Monopoly, I think. Do you think I can see beyond my normal vision? The video obviously starts with them going to the toilet. Then it's taking the direction we were all scared of. If you mean the paranormal, then yes. But if you are scared of something else, then you have to excuse me here. They were heading to the toilet to show us the door. How terrifying. Because it wasn't attached to a string. Then how was it shutting down by itself? There must be a ghost involved.
Extraño. En la oficina estamos probando qué onda y la puerta del baño se cierra sola.
Fíjate si hay en el baño, fíjate.
Primero vamos a acomodar. No se ve nada. ¿Vieron eso?
Abrir. Fíjate.
Muchachos, no vengan a las 3 de la mañana a la oficina porque esto es paranormal. ¿Viste eso, José?
It's clear as day that there was no one inside that toilet or that bathroom, so you don't take my words literally. But I also thought someone could be pulling the string from the window, but we've already seen the door in the close-up shot. This is confusing. Look, I want you to give me a simple answer, the simplest you can think of, and if you can't think of anything, then you better find yourself some jungle to live in, because then you're not good for anything. If you were, let's say, on a trip or something with your family and then a chick stopped by with her car, asking for help because her car broke down, would you go up to her and help her in this very bad situation? But what does that have to do with our next video, which is supposed to be talking about some paranormal activities? Hold it there, champ. I will get to that point. Your decision will be very difficult to make because your wife is not going to take it easy on you if you say yes, and you might just end up being like the guy who was found in the next house a few years ago. Why? What happened to him? He was axed until he passed away. What kind of demonic possession did the axe have? Are you out of your mind? I'm not using street language right now. I mean, someone took an axe and battered this fella till he took his life. The family returned home and found him on the bed. They thought he was sleeping, so to make sure he didn't get cold, they put a blanket on him. But the next day they were like, who was that guy anyway? He was a freaking intruder. They went to see if he was still sleeping, but it turned out he was done, out of order forever. They left the house after many paranormal activities started occurring. Like what? Like the ones facing our investigator, from draining the flashlights of energy to locking him inside the room. There are also more, like objects moving on their own, from boots booting up, which means walking on their own by some ghostly spirit, to the knifing on the table.
Что-то этот ножик я не помню, что он здесь лежал. Да, друзья, сюда нужно приходить с ЭГФ. Рация не прекращает издавать звуки. И в доме очень сильная паранормальная активность. Блять.
I found this story he provided about the video a little hard to believe. What is so hard to believe? The fact that someone was battered by an axe, or the Boots walking on their own. Have you never seen something like that before, or at least heard about it? Didn't you know that Boots always do that on Sundays? I will tell you the story of the next video exactly as it was told or written, not because I feel sleepy and I want to finish this video as fast as possible, but because I want you to know the truth without any extra garlic. I mean, any extra nonsense. Then give it to us, let us hear this very sad story. Alright then, I was on the walk when I realized I didn't bring the keys with me and forgot them at home, while that chick was still in the house sleeping. Wait, that's the wrong story. The real one in the next video goes something like this. On July 8th, near Clipper Mills, California, our truck broke down while towing our boat to a nearby lake. We were forced to stay the night on the side of the road until the next day, when we could deal with our transmission issues. There was no cell phone service and nowhere to go. At 10 p.m., the screams and howling began. And as they just wrote here, some howls began to come out of nowhere. The thing about these howls was that they didn't sound like normal howls. No, it was something far more scary, something that can make the man with the biggest balls in the room crumble in fear, and his balls will shrink to medium-sized balls. That's how scary these sounds were.
It's over here, too. It's coming from back there, too, behind us. See, that's a dog. You hear that? Juno, what is that?
Juno, stay here.
Juno, what have you been hearing? What are you hearing, Vivi? Juno, what did you hear? What was that? It's crazy.
Not a bear.
Yeah. That's no dog.
It's a bear.
He's a bear. I don't think so. They don't call that much.
Closer.
It's two of them. What the f is that?
That's
Yeah, there's one back there too, like earlier.
Yeah, that's not a dog bark.
You can hear the dog barking amongst these howls.
I'm sitting in the cab. I wish we had tailgate.
As far as I know, I've never heard of a Sasquatch attacking anyone, even killing them. How many Sasquatches do they have in this area?
Peanut, what is that? He's here in a little.
JC, you want to go to tab with me?
Getting scared, Mama?
A little nervous.
Well, whatever it is, we certainly captured it. Might be some of our most interesting video ever. They moved away from over here. It's over here now. They're all over on the west side of this. Like a bunch of them. I hear two of our dogs.
Sounds closer to me. Please stop.
I would not stay there an extra minute, not because I'm scared or something, absolutely not. After all, if I have my wife and my dogs with me, why would I be afraid? At least I have to be there for my wife to feel like a real man. But I wouldn't stay for a single minute because I had to find the nearest bathroom. After the second howl, I will already be out of consciousness. And what happened to make your wife proud and safe? And who said I was married? It's the same guy who said that you have to subscribe and watch the next video on your screen.